What are the goals of a protected hearing? So the two goals are intertwined, is to acquire useful information by minimizing the risk. So useful information, and then to avoid that inside the legal pathway the child is receiving another trauma, because studies showed how certain settings can influence the victim of abuse, and in particular in the first 15 minutes the setting is paramount, because it can prepare the person in front of us in the best way possible. This setting shall also include video recording the hearing. It's very important to video record the hearing for the protection of the victim, but also for the sake of the investigation. And inside the room, it is important to involve a minute taker, and we have to wonder how long a protected hearing can last, but it depends on the age of the child. If the child is open and willing to tell his story or not. So there are some indicators telling us how much an interview shall last. If needed, you can also organize a second interview, but it's usually something not common. Then you have a standard question allowing the consultant within the protected hearing in a specific phase of this hearing. For example, collecting info is very important, the initial stage when I build the relationship with the child, because we can analyze and assess all these areas in a friendly way. So not in this phase there is not the need for a structured or elaborated pathway, but here you can have an idea of the weaknesses of the child, and then you can assess such elements later on. So here you see the different factors: memory skills, linguistic, cognitive skills, relational and emotional skills, and an evaluation of any psychopathology that can also maybe be reported on the reports. So you have to prepare yourself with the documents that you received, and you have to understand if this psychopathology impacts on the ability of the child to tell what he experienced or she experienced. Another important aspect is to understand the communication skills of the child, and so it's useful, for example, to ask these questions while the child is telling different facts, and to assess and to see if the child is talking about something neutral, or if later on is shifting the topic, so to be able to talk about something neutral. You can understand if he's or she's telling the truth or not. So, for example, you should ask yourself, is the child using a rich pool of vocabulary? Is he using short sentences? Is it using detailed descriptions, and so on and so forth?